Mhm.
Go right ahead, the time's yours. Just make sure when you talk, your green light is an amber. You know, lime green versus just the darker. You're the dark. If push the word, it says push in the
Good.
middle. Turn your mic on.
Oh.
And Pat, your mic is way too close to you. It's just going to come through regardless. You push it back. It has good range.
Okay.
Yeah. It's pretty good. Here, you guys.
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. And all the ships at sea out there in East Bakersfield. We have it's our first Bakersfield Conservation meeting live at the town hall, not on Zoom. And we're happy that we can do this. We are the Bakersfield Conservation Commission, and we're having a monthly meeting the third Thursday as usual. And we're calling this meeting to order now at roughly 6:37. 6:10.
I mean, 6.
Okay, whatever. So the
6:30.
first item on business is to approve the minutes of the March 16th meeting. I'm sorry, not the March 16th meeting, the April 20th meeting. So you need a chance to look them over. Do you have a copy? Okay. It's probably a good idea.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
I was at that meeting.
I knew you were.
Because I was with Gary.
Yep.
So. Any moment, I think we'll be ready to. Has everybody get a chance to review them yet?
Good.
Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve them.
Okay. Motion's made, and is there a second to approve the minutes? Has she unmuted? Can you tell? Oh, she has, okay. So Mary, are you unmuted? Can you hear us, Mary?
She heard you, you responded, it's muted. Just tell her I'm muted.
So Mary, you're muted. Can you unmute? Aha, there you are. You seem to be muting yourself off and on. It's quite a talent, I gotta say, but if you could just,
I've unmuted me a few times here.
could you turn off your TV? It's kind of coming through here loud and clear, and it's more interesting than our meeting is, I can tell you. Right?
I can turn it off.
Okay, thank you.
So just so you to make it official, when someone's on Zoom, I know you guys are primarily working on Zoom. When they cast their vote, if they're on petition, they have to state their name and then their vote. So it will be Mary Lumber, yes, or you know.
Okay, well,
That's how it works. To
Okay.
make it official.
I wasn't listening to it anyway. I was listening to you.
we have some instruction for you, Mary, since you're the only member on Zoom right now, and that is that it apparently, according to our resident expert producer, to make if we're voting motions and we're voting, you have to state your name. That you give us this, what your response is, aye or no, but you do have to state your name
Okay,
before you vote.
Every time.
can do. I can do that.
Okay, great. So we have a motion. Do we have a second? Yeah, second. Is there any discussion?
I forgot all about it, but I noticed one thing, it says tree planting at Westcombs, I did go to that one,
Oh, great.
and that's not a fun job, if anybody ever decides you wanna plant in a marsh. Try to put your spade in that grass,
Okay.
it was a tough job, to be honest.
How many trees were planted?
I think they did 250. So, but I think it was over 2 years, they planted some last year,
Oh, I see.
so I mean, they're little trees.
Yeah,
I think they went about, well, I would have done it differently, because I planted.
You've been in the business.
Thousands, right?
Right.
I would have used a spade. The root systems were this big.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
they were digging holes,
Uh,
so they kind of dug a hole, and try to put the grass back.
yeah.
It was all, because you couldn't, there wasn't any
They
dirt.
didn't have those that you.
That's what they needed. They needed,
Okay.
I had tree spades. I didn't know what they were. up to. That would have worked a lot faster.
I don't know what a tree spade is. It's like a post hole digger or something?
Yeah, no, it's just a metal bar down the bottom, it's about this thick.
Yeah.
about this high. Just stick it in the ground, move it like that, stick a tree. Boom, done.
My father-in-law told me that years
I
ago.
think that would work.
Thing you can do is to drive it down next to where you put the tree in and push it against. the
Okay.
There's a lot to do.
Sure, yeah, okay, that, oh,
I think
that's-
that would have worked. But it-
yeah,
Everybody was using round shovels.
and no one was listening to you.
No, I got there.
Oh, okay.
They didn't show up and.
Oh.
I was-
Well, my father-in-law told me that years ago with a spade.
Yeah.
Didn't have the tool, just shove it in, push it out, stick it in, let it go. Being a fairly lazy person, that always appealed to me because instead of digging and digging and refilling and filling. Oh, I was gonna say there's one little, I think, in the report about the carriage barn, it's a small thing. I think Mr. Lanfear's name is Lanphere, isn't it? LAN, not LAM, or is it LAM?
I'm not certain.
Okay, it doesn't really,
It's what, LAM?
I thought it was Lanphere,
N.
and
Oh,
like Lanfear, like,
Probably so.
yeah. Okay, is there any other discussion? If not, then all those in favor here of the motion, say aye.
Mary says aye.
All those opposed? Then we've approved the minutes of the April 20th, 2023 meeting. And I'm looking for my agenda here. Excuse me, I had it and I set it aside. Oh, thank you very much. So the financial report, Mary Lumbra, you're on.
All right, I was in to see them this morning and there's no change. Our balance is still $2,129.39. Same as last time.
Is there a motion to approve the financial report?
I move to approve.
And a second, good. Is there any discussion about the financial report? All right, then, all those in favor of accepting Mary's financial report, say aye.
Mary Lumber says aye.
All those opposed? All right, we've passed the financial report. The carriage barn report, Alice has been working hard on this and she's gained, I guess, an ally in my wife. And they've been digging away at this.
Gary's sickness, I haven't been very active on it in recent weeks, but Darren found possible place to get a grant. Just on the internet, because the information is the internet. And one of the pictures that was shown was this painted silos in Jeffersonville.
Yeah.
Part of raising funds for that project.
Do we hear about Jeffersonville?
And they don't seem to be associated with our state funds at all. Maybe they be useful or whatever. Throwing some ideas on it. Funds for barns, and they don't want to, they apparently don't want to consider of the barn. It was a facility or something, I guess.
It said carriage houses, they said flatly. We're not going to use funds to restore carriage houses.
certain that they're so firm about that anymore. And, there's an application here that was what was used for last year's application, applicants. And, it gives us a great idea of what they're looking for in this grant for barns. And, particularly, one of the categories is building significance. Briefly described it architectural and historic significance. And it's vulnerable and rare survival. Does it have an unusual history? Is it rarely found type of agricultural building? And does it have unusual and unique features like that air?
On the vent system.
We've got a great item for that category.
Me too. Yeah.
From what is there, what I'd like to do is get people's permission, groups' permission to send an initial request to these people. I have a little bit of knowledge of some of the people that are making decisions because of my connection with the historical society work. And also, we as a group do, because Dorothy got the bicycle grant, I think, from the state people and for the bicycle racks.
Sure, yeah.
And we worked through them to get the youth group in to make the pathway. And we already sort of connected up with these people.
Who's the people again?
Vermont funds.
Okay, all right.
I'm just grouping.
Generally, okay,
It
yeah,
means that all of them are decided by a single group,
yeah.
a collection of people from these different groups. In the-
Mhm.
And
So could I just ask, did you say this particular grant that Sharon has started?
No, that's a different thing I was gonna bring up.
That's called Better Places. Is that not a Vermont fund? You
I'm
said?
not sure
Oh,
whether it is or not. It has Vermont in its name,
Okay.
right?
Better
But it's not
Places.
state funds.
But another connection we have is that we have that state sign posted now for the academy. And now in our building, and will soon be in front of the building outside.
Yeah.
Is one for the historical society building, as it was an educational institution and then a church, and now
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah,
And we have it.
nice.
It just needs to be stuck in the ground, and the lady that is connected up with those signs was here to speak. And that one was sort of dedicated,
Mhm.
and we expect she'll be here in a week or two. I don't know when it's gonna have it done, but she'll be back to take care of
Mhm.
that one.
Mm,
These people know us.
Yeah.
This is my point. And I think they might take her consideration for that. They probably looked at the building. That was state money that when the study was done in 2010. Of that farm.
Yeah.
I think we paid half on it and the state paid the other half
Yeah.
as a grant, a small grant.
do you say we should apply?
No, I would just like to send a trickle letter like Sharon did.
Huh.
To this other one and
Mhm.
see if they would pursue it.
And this other one is exactly what? Or do you know the name of the other one?
I do.
Uh-huh.
I'd have to give them to you later, but
Okay.
I do know them, their names and.
Well, seems like this is there's volition here. You've been very much pushing for this. My wife is big about it. Could we just follow up on Alice's thing and send a tickle letter, as she calls it, to this agency? No harm in asking.
Yeah.
No. No,
What is it, a tickle letter?
tickle, that's what you said. Yeah,
All right.
these tree plantation people, they have their own lexicon. That's right, yeah, yeah. I don't know where tickles come with trees, but that's,
This other.
yeah,
Heard
no,
consideration.
That was, I never did either.
pre-flight, yeah,
Beef light,
pre-flight consultation.
yeah. beef
Those
light.
I mean, this is a different order of business, but do you think we should go for that one too? Follow up on it. Go to the meeting and talk to them, see what they say.
Well, Sharon has set up a Zoom.
She
meeting,
has,
too.
yeah.
So, yeah,
She wondered if anybody else wanted to attend.
I think I will if I'm around, if I'm
Yeah.
not in Newton.
Yep. So do we need a motion?
I don't know if you need a motion, I just like your okays.
Mine. Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Yes. The way it feels, personally speaking, it feels like and there are these strictures and it just seems like people are getting help. Whether they're following the strictures or not, or I don't know, it just feels that way to me anyway. How do you feel, Larry?
Yeah, oh.
Mary, you got an opinion?
What, if Alice should pursue it?
Or if we should pursue it with Alice? Certainly
This
not.
is Mary speaking, by the way, and yes, I think it's great if Alice pursues this with us.
Okay, all right. Carolyn,
Yes.
you on
yeah,
board?
Yeah.
Now, how do we do this? We do get a subcommittee together to draft something, or you feel like you could do this?
But also Sharon, the one that Sharon's pursuing, there's I guess maybe you can help me out on this. There is a connection by internet on May 20th, is it? About this with one of the representatives.
Yes, that's right. There is a date, and I'm not sure what it is. She had to postpone it because my daughter's got this terrific job this last weekend on an island off the coast of Maine, and I couldn't take her to connect with her ride, and so Sharon had to cancel the meeting, postpone the meeting anyway.
30th at 11. And
May
she had-
30th.
She had to cancel that?
No, she had to cancel one last week. There was going to be one, this week was going to be one on Tuesday, and she had to postpone that one.
She said, set up a meeting, a Zoom meeting for May 30th at 11. I'll put that in the minute.
There's no harm in pursuing.
No, I agree. So there it is. So,
That's a Tuesday. I may not be able, I'm usually in Winooski on Tuesday, but I'll see if I can.
Could you talk to us a little bit about the money that are still possibly available? We have some questions.
Go ahead.
Right? When you said something about we need to do a 50-50, can you explain to us?
What we said, one of the things that was suggested to us through the ARPA committee was that we match grants. Like it's a matching grant. So if you want $5,000, you have to put up $5,000, you get $5,000, so you have 10. If you want to, 25, if you wanted to get the 5,000, 2,500 donation, 2,500 matching grant. That was what they said to make the money further. Monday, we'll probably discuss ARPA a little deeper. It's rumblings, with everything going on, that the government's going to try to possibly pull all this money back soon. but we have to commit the money now. There are some things, there's a couple different funds we're talking about trying to do, but Monday we're gonna discuss it. I can't talk about that until.
Like you could spend.
Yeah, there's plenty of places.
It's the towns.
Well, I don't disagree, but the idea is to make the money go further. Part of the, Monday we'll talk about it more, but what we're saying was. For the projects that people were coming to, we want to rebuild the Hirsch House, we want to do the Cambridge Farm, we want to go with the building between the Cambridge Farm and the Hirsch House. Things like that. What we had said at the meeting was that, at the ARPA meeting was, we want to match, we don't want to give 100%. Because that's what ARPA was all about, was using the money to match grants. Even for us, if we wanted to redo a road, we try to find, like, when we get the state fund us, we have to give them so much money matching grant money, before they give it to us. So that was the thought process. So if you're looking for $5,000 to rebuild the Cambridge House, then we would be looking for a match. We would match the donated money. So if you got $2,000 in donations, you would present it to us, and we would consider matching it with another. That's what we meant at that meeting.
Would that work as well? For instance, one of these groups is a matching fund organization, 50-50. So if we got a certain fixed amount from them, you would match what they offer.
If we got a grant that they'll match, we need $5,000 from you, and they're gonna match 5,000, right? And then present that.
Mm.
I'm talking out of turn, there's
I
five.
understand, I know.
Kind of fits in the old.
Yeah.
Of matching grants.
In this particular case, it's a matter of timeline though, because you're saying the money is being.
We don't know, so there's rumor mills flying all over the place, and as we all know, the federal government is at the debt ceiling. And they're talking about ways to get underneath it or increase it, but it's higher than possible. One of the ways, I was just listening on the ride home on, satellite radio. One of the ways they're saying is there was a lot of money that was put out into the public. That one of the proposals is they didn't use it,
Wait,
you don't need it,
it's been spent.
bring it on back. If it's been spent, you can't do anything about it, it's been spent or allocated.
Mhm.
So that's the key thing. That's what we're talking about Monday night, trying to figure out how to allocate the funds. We still have equipment we need, 90%, 95% of this town is dirt roads. Most of the town folk live on dirt roads and they have to maintain dirt roads. There's a couple of things that was spoken at the last meeting. We were looking at excavators. Because we need to excavate and things like that with the road as well as at the gravel pit. And they were looking at potentially units to get that, some of the money to get a unit to do that, because 90% of the town's dirt road and we have to maintain. Matter of fact, the only non-dirt road is the Boston Post. And Boston Post, the little side, when you turn off Boston Post, there's a little apron of asphalt. The East Bakersfield, right here, Main Street, whatever they call it, that digital stretch. That's it. This is dirt. And the main problem for town is it's States. To keep these roads maintained. I was just talking to Mac last week and made a funny comment at the meeting about the roads being too hard and too soft and the folding blocks. But there are things we have to do to maintain the dirt road.
We're taking too much time on this, but
Yeah.
the mechanism for that particular thing is to say that, okay, we need a $90,000 piece of equipment. So we'll take 45 from ARPA and we, the select board, the town will match it with another 45.
Number of things, yes, you're right. There is other pieces we need in the wing and things, your 32,000 coming out of the new equipment. So that's coming out of the fund. It's not coming out of ARPA. So it's coming from the new equipment fund. Some will come from the ARPA dollars. The idea is on Monday, we're going to discuss a couple different funds and maybe figuring out putting a certain percentage in one fund and moving another percentage, keeping a percentage for things like, running the general fund.
Well, in any case, it sounds like there may be some hope.
We said come back in September But, because we just, this process, as you can attest to, was going on for a year and a half. Before we finally said enough and actually dispense some funds to the folks. So, it was like, okay, people had to go out and get some homework done and bring some homework back. And honestly, we're coming in the summer months. I'm not gonna hold a bunch of meetings in the middle of summer when people are with the grandchildren out with the kids playing ball or, just enjoying the weather or on vacation. So the idea was September. But we have to, on Monday, we're gonna talk about it because we really have to do something with the funds. Or the fear is, we're gonna have to give it back.
Don't let that happen.
Right, so we're trying to ensure
Crazy.
what we can do, and I sent that because we can't talk through email. Because it's considered a non-warm meeting. So it's like, hey, on Monday, be prepared to talk about this, no comment. This is information for Monday, but you can read the overall piece and we'll talk about it Monday night, so
Okay.
that's the idea.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any more discussion about the carriage house? Any more discussion about the carriage house? Because we're kind of getting our 1 hour, oh, good Lord. Okay, now we've got a half an hour. So, then let's move on. Pollinator garden?
I'm hoping to come on Saturday and just assess what's going on, see what needs to be done. Clear out some stuff, just kind of look it over and see what needs to be done, what's coming up. We have a tentative date for our garden visit.
Oh, from the grant, the
Vermont.
Garden Association, yeah.
I think that's June 13th,
Mhm.
and that is a Tuesday, and it would be in the afternoon, so tentatively.
Sounds good.
And I think that I look forward to that. I look forward to what she would.
Were you applying for a grant?
Yeah, I mean, we're almost to the end of it. I have to get some information from some of you, like information about, I've got it under other, I don't know if you want to talk about it now, but
But you're gaining a lot of learning about how to apply for grants and doing this.
yeah,
You need to be like there when we're doing all this effort.
yeah, yeah.
It-
Um,
Footnote, speaking of that, one of the issues was proposed, I think, at the last meeting was talking about, we thought the town had a grant writer. And he, as it came back to us, more looked into it, basically, it seems that he was hired to write one grant.
Right, I'll comment on that if you don't mind. So the town has identified an individual that we are using for our first grant, being the municipal energy resilience program, MERP, it's called, town buildings and municipal buildings. We are using him it's his first grant. We just gave him, okay, we'll give you one grant to figure out. But he is a grant writer in the town. He's not like under contract with us, so it's not like there's no umbrella. You can use him. He will work out, fee structure with you guys. He worked out one with us. And of course, because we're only using him for one, it's elevated. But the idea was we want to try him a bit and see how he does.
Mhm.
And then, we'll sign on to him for a year or so. With so many hours a month finding grants for us. But his name is Alex. Berkeley.
Yeah,
Um,
we've talked about it.
and Alex is open to write grants for anybody. You just have his contact information if you want it. You can get a hold of him and, discuss what you're looking for, and he can do by grant basis or stipend for, going.
So if we chose to pursue him, would we have to pay him out of our kitty?
Yeah.
That the town treasurer holds for us? Or is the town, the select board going to cover the cost of that?
Each commission has their own funds. You would pay for them out of your funds. And if you used up the funds, you would know for next year, you'd be like, okay, on town meeting day, we need to request more funds because we intend to have this individual continually look for grants for us. Like I said, for us, he gave us, if we put him under a monthly stipend with so many hours stipulated use for grant writing, he gave us an amount, like an hourly amount. But because we're like, we want one grant and it's really, we want to test him. It's only like 4 hours of work. He put an hourly in there that was, you know, a third more than what he would charge us if we put him under a longer term contract, 6 months or a year.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
So pollinator garden, did you have some work dates in mind?
Like I said, I'm coming on, I think I'm coming on Saturday if all goes well.
Okay.
And that will be our first work date, if anybody wants to come. I know there's another event at the Historical Society on Saturday. There is,
This Saturday? Yeah.
isn't it this Saturday, the 20th,
Finish
Oh.
time.
Oh,
at 1 o'clock?
1 o'clock.
So I might like fold into that after I work.
The winter, the year that there was no
Yeah.
summer.
oh, yeah, Yeah. yeah.
I think my idea,
17.
yeah,
Yeah.
should be good. I think my idea
Any-
is,
I just wanted to address our guest, our population of supporters here. Anything we're doing, like the pollinator or anything, you don't have to necessarily join the commission. When we have a work date or something, just show up if you want to get your hands dirty. Exactly. Yep. Yep. Yep.
yes.
Larry can teach you how to plant trees and things like that. So is that going to put a damper on your pollinator get together? Well, Howard's going to be here in the evening, right? You said Saturday. He's coming at 1 o'clock. And when would you be doing pollinator stuff this Saturday? Morning. So, okay, they were open.
I mean, my idea is it's still kind of early in the season. I'm just gonna
Yep.
really assess it,
Sure.
clean up a bit. My big question right now is how are we gonna handle the edging of the garden, you know, where the lawn goes into the garden, like. I'm really wondering how we all want to handle that. If you guys have any ideas.
Is this a question to ask your person who's going to come?
Yes, I want to ask
Mm.
her, but do you have ideas how, you know, there is the kind of rolled up 6-inch flat
Plastic,
plastic.
just take a spade.
Yeah,
set it in,
that works
spade it back, and-
pretty well, you know.
I mean, that's how I do it.
Is that rigid plastic or is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
pretty
It's
tough.
Bates sells it for $60 for a big amount. I forgot 40 feet, I guess. We just bought one. We just did it on one of my gardens
Oh, so
and
you're already used to it.
yeah, it's good. And they said they were ordering more because we got their last one. But yeah, if you say, I think that works. It works good for me in my gardens and in the cemeteries.
We've got one of those ice chippers. That are blade about that wide, would that be useful?
Perfect. If it's a flat
Yeah.
shovel, yeah.
Yep.
And there's no stones over there, so it should be like, unlike my garden. Oh my God, tons of rocks. But over there's no rocks, so it should be pretty easy. So, I mean, that was my idea, and I'll see if the garden expert, what her ideas might be.
But that's about a month away. Well, 3 weeks.
Yeah.
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 Well, Howard is coming this Saturday.
Yeah, 20th.
What day is this that you're talking about?
For the garden person to come. She's got, the tentative date is Tuesday, June 13th in the afternoon. That's the tentative date.
Okay.
If it's good for everybody, you know. And so I think that other further work dates, we should put that out. I don't know if somebody wants to make one. I guess one of the things we might want to think about is if we want to get more plants, we have that front part that we covered last fall.
Yeah,
I have some plants I can bring for there, but I think we should get some real like attention grabbing dramatic plants there, I think.
Right.
something will give you a rash, you mean? Something- No, okay. What would that, for instance, just off the top of your head? What would you put out there?
Well, Hyssop
Something
is
you-
a really
Is it?
cool plant and it's a
Okay.
good pollinator and it goes
Yeah.
like 6 feet tall. And I have anise hyssop.
Are there some sunflower plants that really striking that?
Yeah,
You put
in
on
the-
that corner?
the Mexican sunflowers that get about 5 to 6 feet tall and they bush out and they're great. Anybody got any ideas,
I have no ideas about dandelions, that's all I can.
yeah,
You
there's-
wanted to dig stuff out.
yeah, yeah. I got a bunch of stuff coming and ready. Okay. Yeah,
Have you got some hyssop or some that you're willing to donate
got
or some
anise,
anise?
a whole bunch of anise hyssop coming and those are like purple. They're not the tall with white. But pollinators really like them. They're kind of purple and they're like 3 to 4 feet and they're pretty cool. I got a bunch of them. I have echinacea more and we have 4 in there already, but
Bring them to the front.
yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, I want to just go over there and see what.
For Saturday, 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
9 o'clock, you think?
No more
10.
than 10.
10, okay, 10 o'clock
Even, I mean,
Saturday.
I just don't, I don't know how much work there is to do. And if I stay for coffins, maybe I'll be hanging around with nothing to do. We'll see.
You can
So
go,
maybe more like.
you go to Wescomb's and plant a couple of trees while you're waiting. Yeah. Oh. Okay,
Oh, beaver.
You know what, let's say I'll be over there at 11 o'clock on Saturday.
11 o'clock on Saturday for the pollinator garden
That
assessing
should give plenty of-
plantings work date.
I also need to walk the whole trail and GPS it on all trails to put it on a map, so the whole Town Park Trail and Ballpark Trail in the circle. Because the map we have in there is not accurate. Alice and I figured that out. The map that was done years ago is not accurate. So we gotta redo that.
Okay, Shattuck Mountain Trail Work Day. We can pick one. I have not heard from Katie and I haven't pursued her. I should have. We've got a trail closed sign there. And I sent a message to her and said,
It's still there?
yeah, well, I'm not sure. I haven't been back and I haven't heard from her, so I don't know.
We have to meet with them too, to just get. the
Yeah, that's right.
straight.
I sent her a message along those lines saying we want to didn't get any response to that either. And maybe. Could go up and take a look and see if it's there. Yes, you would. It's not like planting trees. It's much easier.
So you don't know, but you think the close sign might still be up?
Yeah, I've got no response. Yeah,
Oh, gosh, that's bad.
Yeah.
Close to hunting season, that you're talking about?
Yeah.
Well, I had a sign up at the parking place right away, saying closed for hunting season, and we thought, well, I guess they have a right to do that. But there's still at the base of the trail, there's a trail closed sign. Last time I was there.
Yeah,
And I-
it's-
Yeah,
Talk, you don't want to look at for nothing in there.
Yeah, yeah.
It kind of made good sense to me.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I don't know, I don't know. If they intend to.
well, I don't know either. We'll worry about that later, I guess.
Because one of our projects, we're gonna make a sign on permanent sign. The dates that it will be closed and the dates that will open back. There's no confusion about it.
Mm.
We really need to get that up there. So, and we were waiting to meet with them so we could get those firm dates. Oh, gotta do that.
Well, I'll try to pursue it a little harder and get her to maybe do something this week.
Huh?
Or find out if it's there, maybe just take a ride up there and see if it's there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if it isn't, then we're all set. A workday, the issue about setting up a workday. So we set up a workday and presume the trail's gonna be open?
Well, I think we need to meet first,
Want to meet with her first, okay.
Yeah.
All right,
get that cleared up.
okay,
I muted Mary,
okay,
just that it's recording and she's.
right. Mhm. Well, then we're in the town park kiosk laminating maps and information. There were two faithful workers on Earth Day, Green Up Day.
Green up there.
That's right, Green Up Day.
We greened everything.
Yes, we did. It's never looked as green as it did after we got through with it.
So it was you up there.
Yeah. We got, look, there were a couple of trees, minor trees across the trail. You know, picked up odds and ends of things. You raked some of the leaves that were on the edge of the, didn't you?
Yeah.
The edge of the pollinator garden. Yeah, there isn't a lot to do. I think years and years of having done it has made it
Mix it.
much easier to do, yeah. And Mac was,
Down from the cemetery, is there still a whole bunch? I mean, we always used to pick up all kinds of
no,
old pots and stuff.
no.
Good.
this thing came out was that looked like an oven. Somebody picked that up and took it out of there. Refrigerator's long gone.
Yeah.
Anyway, the trail's open, has been. People have been using it. But the kiosk, laminated maps and information.
Yeah, that's on me, I guess.
I have
Oh, that's nice.
these little things.
Yeah.
These were, I think, to be cut apart and put on the kiosk, yeah.
Okay.
It's just kind of attention getters,
Mm-hmm.
but I found this also. This is, what's going to be on the kiosk.
Mary's back.
Could be enlarged or whatever, but people that don't know. This is what we originally decided for our, call it, logo.
Yep.
And this one in particular needs to be enlarged, maybe at least 4 times, probably more than that.
And I did find a digital one in my computer in my desktop.
And then are the 5 stops on the trail still in place?
Yes.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, it's a description of the 5 stops,
Mm-hmm.
but should be rewritten. The paper's all damaged and it wouldn't make good copies. I don't think.
I'll volunteer to rewrite that up and get that,
And then
then you can laminate it, yeah.
I made 5 copies of the map. That Dorothy had put together for.
But I think that's the map
That's-
that is not accurate, right?
Let's do it again.
You know, because it shows the trail
And I
head in the
have
map.
her- and
You mean
take
for
care
this
of
park
me
over here?
to have
For the
that.
park over here?
Bedford Park, that old map. We looked at it and it was like not quite accurate.
Want these?
I'd like one, yeah.
They're probably the only things we have left. Remnants of our plans.
Yeah, because remember Alice, we saw like.
Yeah, it's not, it looked at it further and thought if
It's kind of, it's great, except it's not
we,
quite accurate.
this line here is the, not the property line. This line is the property line.
Oh,
We only owe right in the front of those 3 buildings. Well, I don't know about the Hearst house, but, this is the driveway, basically, between the 2 parks.
That's the driveway?
Well, it
Oh,
isn't,
yeah, I
it's
kinda-
labeled as such,
yeah.
but that's the fence, you
Huh.
know.
I don't know what that is. Either, is that?
Uh, That must
thank you.
be where the separation is, Upper Town Park Trail. That's the outline of the cemetery.
Oh, okay.
That,
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
I had these laminated last year up on the floor on the key.
Yeah.
Gone.
yes, but you think the wind took them or you think?
Don't know why, I guess. We never found them. They seem like they'd be in the woods.
But we need to always save something to make copies from them.
Yeah, this is good to have this. Okay.
Can I say something more about just a few days ago, last weekend, I guess it was. I happened to be up in the village and there were 5 or 6 vehicles parked in there around the barn and they
Yeah, there are 8 of them.
8 of them.
Yeah, counted them.
And
Cause I was fixing the sign back.
Oh, you did, okay.
I didn't.
understand they were like,
Yes, they were cyclists. I know what you're talking about, yeah.
looking for portalette.
Oh.
Okay.
Probably legally, we're only supposed to have a couple spaces for cars to be parked in, but nobody's gonna enforce them, but we maybe would need to put a sign up, limited parking or something, I don't know, but.
Probably once or twice a year they're gonna do that. I wouldn't.
Oh, Larry, they've
They're
been.
there all the time?
There's
I haven't seen-
They park between the church and our building in that parking area, but maybe they found that was too congested or something. But there was a lawn chair behind one of them, like some of them didn't go away on bicycles also.
Well,
I think it's a good thing.
yeah, I do. I think so too.
But, if this is going to
If
continue,
it
then we should.
keep an eye on it, and if it gets to be a problem, then we do something about it. Yeah,
put it, but probably we need to make an effort to make it more receptive. More
okay.
welcoming.
There we go.
Welcoming. Don't you think?
Yes. Well, I don't know. Yeah, what would you do? I mean, it's there and people like it and they're using it. That's good.
Yeah.
What we need to do is open a store across the street, so. That'll work.
That's completely.
I gathered. Yeah.
It's gonna be offices or something, right?
Yes, offices, I've been told, I've heard. Yeah,
So when are we getting the portalets up?
When you tell me to get them.
Oh. That,
I was told last year that the library we have a new librarian, so I
Yeah.
have to go talk with her. I'll order for you, we'll do June, July, August, and September like we always do.
okay,
And the cemetery, the town. It's been us and see if I can get the library, and that's how. So that would be 4 months. See what you lose when you lose the general store too? You lose $95.
yeah.
Having a Fourth of July event.
We talked about getting one for the 4th of July event.
Yeah, I talked to Paul Stanley a couple days ago. He was
Yeah.
gonna get on it.
Yeah, we estimated when we put together the 4th of July event, the $5,000 to include Portalet and the individual who does the emceeing and who orders the fireworks. So so talking about the store, we tried to get a group together to open the store. If you remember, you may have heard the Cold Hollow Community Collective. Came down to myself for 4 months being the only person on the meetings. And then I finally got a quorum, at least of three, three of the five other people, and we determined that store's been filled, and the store needed a lot of repair to be a store. So we stepped away. We had $800 that we earned last year from cooking food at the 4th of July event. We're gonna give $400 to the town common to help with this year with the beautification flowers. And then we're giving $400 to the fireworks to help, maybe pay for, because we anticipate an increase in the cost, so we don't have to take a decrease in the fireworks. So I have to write a check to get you.
No, what I do is I submit the bill to the tenant
Okay,
and they
so,
so,
well, I have this money in my account, been there a year.
yeah, I have money in mine too.
So I don't want it, I'm trying to do it right.
Yeah.
But the four of us decided last Wednesday that we are splitting it in half and giving it to two town
Yeah.
organizations that benefit the town. One of them's gonna be $400 for fireworks. I'll find out if I just write a check to the town from the memo, the Cold Hollow Community Collective for the fireworks, and they can add it to your fireworks.
Right.
Your efforts was a long chain of effort in the
Yeah.
past,
Yeah.
trying to get. There permanently.
When we went to the store, there were issues that the store didn't do a lot of work, and we were trying to get grants to do it. We realized we wouldn't be able to get the store, and thankfully for all parties involved, they're able to finally rent the store out, the bottom half of it for to help with that for the owners. We haven't given up. I still have a hope that if Brigham Academy, if they rebuild Brigham Academy, that they will give an area, downstairs on the first floor to open some form of a commissary, if you want to call it, or a store, not only for the residents of Brigham, so that they don't have to go travel, but also for the town to come and pick up milk, whatever. And we've also talked about like a container type scenario, right, where we put it next to the fire department in front of Brigham and build a store out of a shipping container. We talked about a number of things, but the reality behind it is once the store closed, the store was removed from the scenario. And the volunteers dwindled, as you know. We started out with like 30 people. We were down to myself and Shannon Moyer for a while. We're trying to do it all ourselves. It just gets too much, so we figured we need to step away and see what the future brings.
So where were we?
We were coming.
Town Park kiosk, laminated maps and information. Yeah.
I'll call the board.
The quarter.
I'll check with the library, they're open first thing tomorrow morning.
Laminated maps and information. You got, Carolyn did a nice job with the signs, and I'm impressed that they're still standing. I was afraid they might be victimized,
I was
but
wondering.
they're still there. And there's a nice big one on the
Alice
kiosk too. Yeah,
Sit on the news in the morning. And on the internet,
What?
I'll be darned.
no more May, it's all over the,
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
it's a big,
Yeah.
yeah,
big thing now,
it is a big thing.
yeah.
it is.
It's good. Maybe it'll catch on with other
I'll
lawns,
tell you what,
public spaces in the town.
my lawn is looking very desperate. I don't know if I may have hold out till June 1st. It's
Well,
pretty
we've,
thick.
we've mowed past around the garden and.
Yeah.
You can,
But it's these, at least one little species of flowers I never knew was there. Little tiny white things. Yeah,
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 That's a new path. You never saw them before?
No.
Either have I.
no,
So whatever it is,
Yep.
it's new.
yeah, it's probably invasive.
Patch of it in my front lawn.
Yeah,
Never seen it before.
yeah, if you have to look a little hard to see it. They're tiny little
Well, it's
things.
small, yeah. It's-
Something, they must be doing something beneficial to somebody. Some,
thing is, I really haven't seen many bees and,
I've had a few. Really?
I see more than that, but
I've seen-
I have these kind of bugle weeds and usually they're like one of the first that come up and they have
Yeah.
little purple and usually there's buzzing little bees all around there.
See hummingbirds, right?
That's right, they're back. Yes, they
Well,
are.
they're back over
Yep.
in here, but
I have bees all over my apple trees, all over.
Great,
apple
great.
flowers.
Yeah, yeah.
And it sounded like
Yeah.
a beehive. 'Cause I thought that was like, look at-
Yeah,
The cute fuzzy bees were all over the apple
Oh,
trees.
good.
violets are crazy in my unmowed patches and.
Yeah,
And forget-me-nots came, I think my mother-in-law sent something that had forget-me-nots years ago. And they're all over the place. They're gorgeous. They
section.
moved, I don't know why, they went out in the woods too, and they're spreading out
They
there
just
too.
spread. They're
Yeah.
easy to pull up if they get, they're not really.
Would you, they're beautiful.
They're, well, they're everywhere. I
Yeah.
have to pull up
Yeah,
in the garden.
okay.
But yeah,
Okay, so the no more, we're still, so, do we have any more resolution about the laminating? We've got map, the map wasn't discussed, was it, about laminating a map for the trail?
yeah, we've got to get some informational stuff like the 5 stations. We should get that back up.
And
So people know what those stations are all about.
you were talking about revising this map, but is that what you'd laminate if you could?
Maybe it doesn't need to be, I mean, it's close enough, kind of, I guess.
Yeah,
It's not
kind of.
quite accurate, because. But.
Did you look at it?
It's a really nice map.
Have you looked at the old map?
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, it looks pretty good to me.
Yeah.
It's pretty good to me.
Yeah,
It's just,
That's the one we use. Before.
the loop out there is pretty marshy right now. The proposed loop.
yeah, we never really,
No, it never happened.
Yeah,
No.
that's what we're planting it,
yeah.
Weston's, but
Okay,
that helps you out.
well, it builds character, you know.
On this map, we actually should maybe put X's where the 5.
Yeah, that would be a good idea. Yeah,
So
put
we
a
need to do
a
something.
key maybe saying, and then would you think your printing guy be able to blow it up so it would be, or is that what we want to do? Have a laminated
That would be great. wouldn't
map
it?
for the kiosk?
Ones I had laminated, that library, but they weren't.
No, we
Oh.
gotta do heavy duty, like.
Okay.
What you said, we held up, oh, this one. I mean, it needs to be like this.
Yeah, for real big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's.
That's-
Were.
I
Where do you
could-
get, where do you get that done?
Maybe at.
You think the UPS store in St. Albans would do it?
Or-
Well, she's got this guy who made the signs for her. Is that what you'd seen?
Mount,
No?
Mountain View,
Mountain View?
Mountain View would
Yeah,
do
but-
that.
I think she, I don't know if they have something that heavy duty is the thing, is it right? I don't know anything about laminating.
Mountain View sign place would, I'm sure, do that. I can find out. But yeah, it needs to be more than, it needs to be heavy.
So we would need to just edit a few things on here. Where the
Yeah.
trail markers are, or the trail, what are they called? Trail,
Yeah, we were working on that. I was working on that. With my friend Al, but I mean, this is kind of nicer. But this is where I
oh, I think,
GPSed it,
yeah,
you know, and then we
Yeah.
were gonna put in the barn and everything like that,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then the arrows that showed the
Yeah.
stations, and then I was gonna go ahead and do the
the bulk,
ballpark
yeah.
and finish it, you
okay,
know.
sure.
But the thing is, I don't know how to get those squares off,
Oh, the grid?
the grid off. I
Uh.
mean, we're gonna work on that, but, and I'd like to get our logo in, which I have at home, so I could get that in there.
You, what?
The logo.
Yeah,
I like
oh, I
that
see.
one. And I have it at home, so I can
Mm,
get it, and we could do a, you know, a key
mhm. Hmm,
and all that,
yeah. Yeah,
so.
so this is a lot of stuff that gets dumped on you. But,
Do the best, like.
well, I know, but you shouldn't have to do it. So how do you feel right now? Keep this, keep working on that?
I mean, nobody's gonna know. It's-
Oops, we lost Mary.
I have.
Yeah.
Things that they put in the yard, for houses for sale, you know, the dispenser. of those that we have one of them.
Yeah,
But when it home, cleaned it up properly. we could use
stick
it.
it there at the head of the trail. Yeah,
You mean like to the
To-
thing that.
so people could pull small maps out for themselves.
There's one on the
Yeah.
kiosk, yeah.
Which we were putting stuff in,
Yeah.
but there used to be one on the post as you go down the hill, that's not there.
Oh,
Because that's.
That's what I was wondering about.
People would actually, oh, what's in the, then they would
Yeah.
get their
Yeah.
map or their information there.
oh, yeah.
We had it in both places,
I could clean it.
and we can put it on the post that's going down the hill.
We got a lot to do here.
Got a lot to do.
Yeah. For the sake of time, because it's actually overtime right now, we've been an hour at this. What's that?
Yeah, we should move on.
Well, we should move on, but I'd like to say there's some kind of resolution that we could say, okay, at the next meeting, you'll see our fantastic new maps and our informational sheets that we can post in the park. But how we get around to doing that, I don't know. We gotta move on. We'll talk about this. Town trails. We've talked about the trails. I think they're pretty good shape, yeah. I'm waiting to see if the guys in the state are gonna put up the bug boxes this year. They probably will. Where they find West Nile virus and other things. Other business, there was something you want to talk about with other business? How you doing? How you doing, Mary?
What?
How are you doing?
Fine.
You haven't voted once in the last hour. I don't know.
I've been listening.
Okay, okay. Other business you had?
Let's see, for the seed grant. For the picnic table, we're gonna research, we're researching a really sturdy composite permanent table. And how much that costs. The seed grant is 1,000 or less, so it's a small grant. And it would probably buy one table, but it would be a permanent, it would be a good table. And we would probably need to anchor it, do you think? They do sell anchors. Maybe it's so heavy I wouldn't.
Well, they're not moving right now. We don't seem to be losing them. Oh, but if it's an expensive table, that would be a concern, would it? No, Larry and I looked.
Yeah, there's,
We looked at the tables, at least one of the tables, and thought it's salvageable.
We talked about that. Paint it this year.
okay.
Well, it needs new top boards around it. And the rest of it seems to be in good shape. You want to go for that too?
That's why we're only looking at one. Because they're gonna go, the wooden ones are,
You're gonna go.
they're always gonna.
Yeah,
we've already
Okay,
gotten rid of two.
Okay, all right.
One needs tops.
Yeah.
So we got rid of that, and the other one's still in good shape to rid of.
But we sit it just inside the door of the barn safely for rainy weather.
As a thought.
To sit down to.
We could. It wouldn't attract anybody to go there and sit down and have their lunch if they couldn't see it, I wonder. I would worry.
I think it would be safe to have people do that.
you're saying to put a picnic table
It's
in.
inside, the
Just
door,
inside?
so it's very visible, but it's undercover.
Hmm. Awesome.
And it wouldn't rot. Okay.
Well, what I was thinking is, could we plant another tree? It could, where we've had the tables, there's no shade.
That's what the oak trees,
Oh,
It's
did we
getting
put the
there.
table close
that's
enough?
what the oak trees,
Okay,
and it's,
And
not
you-
a thing, it's getting big.
good.
Yeah.
But you said it was not in good shape?
Well,
It's already shaded, that's where.
it got hit pretty hard with the frost last night. What we were just worried about.
Yeah.
It'll come back though, I think. Do you think? Yeah.
They do.
Okay.
Okay,
good. I didn't
yeah.
realize.
Yeah, the
Okay.
lindens are fine, but it
Okay.
was not. Oh, can't say they were fine. Yeah, and they didn't look exactly fine, but they look okay.
Great.
So
I'm gonna need some information from you guys, but I didn't bring my list of information that I need. I'm just gonna, I'll email each of
Okay.
you. It's
I got
just like-
one table that I looked up that's.
Okay,
I'll
they
get-
wanted to know all our socioeconomic details, like, are we employed, unemployed, food insecure? What kind of
I'd
education?
say we're all old.
Yes, and poor, relatively.
They want our personal information?
No, not seriously.
Education, like, how much education did each of us have? They wanted to know, your gender preference, they, them, trans, gay.
Ah,
I don't think that's terribly unusual.
that's all pretty personal.
They do ask it down there, and it's not.
They should be.
They're looking for the diversity of our community also, you know,
Well, the-
they want to serve a diverse community, which we don't have much of diversity around here, but.
We have several folks. I won't say it's 10%, but we have mobile folks that are in the LGBTQ community that live here.
Yeah, we know.
And we also have several, we have some multiple races living within the town. I don't think we're New York or Pennsylvania diverse like Philadelphia, but for a small town, I think we have a diverse community. Personally.
For the other grant I wrote, there was like, I got exactly the percentages of all the socioeconomic and kind of racial breakdown. But for this one, they didn't really need that. Anyway, there's a couple,
Didn't all these questions were the same as the ones on the grant that you got for the original flower bed over across the road?
it's not, yes, from the same,
About the
same organization.
Is that because they get their money from somewhere else that wants to know these things?
No,
Or
it's
is
just how they want the grant. That's their, requirements for how, what they want to know. I don't know. I don't know where they get their money, but people donate, I guess.
So we could make up something very interesting. 50% Polynesian.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Northern Vermont. right?
yeah, exactly.
So anyway, I'm like 90% done with that.
Oh,
and I
great.
guess, I'm gonna send it to you guys so you can look it over before I send it. But we should send it as soon as possible, I think, for the summer is coming. So
Well,
I think we're done with that.
we're done with that. Okay, any other business? Then, before we lose our supporters here, upcoming event reminders. Something's happening.
There's a, Saturday is a busy day,
Yeah.
but we are not gonna be going, Richford is having a nature gathering at the school, and there's a Bridget Butler bird walk. And it's they're both on Saturday. So I will not be attending those because I'm gonna be here. If anybody's interested in the bird walk, it is, you have to register. It's limited. They still have spaces. Is anybody interested?
What, Saturday?
Saturday,
I,
8 a.m. to 10 with Bridget Butler.
like
She's
to, but-
great.
yes,
I can send this link to you.
I can't do it Saturday. I've got to help somebody in the park and then I might want to see Robert Cobb. So,
I will be with Harrison. Howard.
Yeah, you're gonna be with Helen.
any other announcements coming up? We have, this is probably a separation of church and state issue, but we're changing ministers here at the church. The fellow we have now is got a young family started, and there are greener pastures than little dinky churches, and So he's moving to a bigger Baptist church this time, and so we're having a little luncheon for him Sunday. If anybody wants to show up and get some free food, you're welcome to come to the church around noon. And I think there's a pie sale coming up somewhere along the line. The ladies of the church are getting back into that, so.
There's a farmer's market and a craft fair going on March May 27th. Down at the pavilion, Rosalie's Pavilion.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah,
Okay,
I
yeah.
think there's 15 or 16 vendors signed up so far between farmer's market, they're selling meats and vegetables, some folks are selling pre-cooked food. And there's a whole bunch of folks doing crafts and such down there.
Hmm.
It's been on Facebook and Front Porch Forum and all for almost a month.
What day is it?
Saturday, May 27th, I believe it is,
Week from Saturday. then.
at the pavilion,
Yeah.
usually, yes.
So you say farmer's market and craft
Craft fair,
fair?
we're mixing them both together.
Okay.
Public comment. Anybody? My favorite part, sights and sounds of the season.
Baltimore.
Oh, man. Yeah, yeah,
I haven't seen you play this.
no,
We're working on the barn.
live one? All right, it's good news.
So that was.
You can contribute too here.
She got more sights and sounds than anybody.
Is that right? Okay. Warblers. Oh my gosh,
They feel there's a nest of ravens on our property, very close to where. And I thought about, probably that was, they know what they're talking about, the garbage. I think, the individual crow.
Yeah.
Crows usually have buddies.
Mm.
And, anyway, so I'm going to investigate that, but I think you said, or somebody said that there's an error in that.
cemetery. Yeah. They've been there for 2 or 3 years now. And as a whole, but actually, I don't know what you call I know what you call a bunch of crows, but what you call ravens, I don't know, but there seems to be a society because there's that pair, but then they seem to work together with a few others all of a sudden. In the mornings, I hear them calling half a mile that way, half a mile that way, half a mile.
Voices unmistakable.
They're wonderful. Yeah, beautiful. I think it was a bit of tragedy last year. I think somebody hit their nest. Of course, they're famous for raiding everybody else's nests. And I think it was major upset and they were acting very strange around us and what have you. I think looking at us as somewhat threatening. But I think they may have the joyful news because she was making quite a lot of interesting sounds the other day and bringing him back to the nest. So I hope that means that there's eggs or there's something hatching. We have robins on our porch, by the way, and they just hatched out these little
That's
orange. Yeah, beautiful. Yeah.
So they found toki.
Oh my God.
Whatever, totally, anyway,
Yeah.
on the ground, feeding.
How? She's mentioning warblers. I think I'm out of my depth. I know what an oriole is, but a warbler and now a towhee. Holy mackerel. I've seen the name. I just wouldn't recognize it. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
Center of it.
Okay.
Oh, where is it? Is that in the bottom of something else inside here? Just the flowers. We're just down over the hill from you. I've never met you. You know, Amber Foot? Well, okay, she's a realtor. Oh, okay. So we have to hand over a couple houses. Her neighbors and yeah. Okay. Well, we're just gonna be able to listen.
The matrons. I'm,
Maybe a Toby.
so this is Alice. You know, this is Alice Foot.
I didn't.
Now you know.
She and Larry get along famous. It's amazing. The two, well, he's not in the tree business anymore, but I always thought it was quite striking. They're both in this committee and they both like great.
Christmas trees.
Yes. But I mean, how could a Christmas tree salesman be anything but, cheery and bon ami? Yeah.
So I want to say
I'm
I've
good.
been finding, more Jack in the Pulpits.
Oh, yeah, they're out. They're out, yeah.
I love them
Yeah.
buys. And also,
Thank you, because you're the only person that has woodland around that I could walk to
Oh.
and find my wildflowers
Yeah.
in the trees.
Yeah, I've got, it's been looking for them and they surprise me whenever I see them.
me
They're
too, there's,
hard to see sometimes. Well, but they keep coming back a lot in the same
yeah,
place.
they do, and they move.
Yeah.
And also all kinds of, oh God. The purple with three,
Brilliant.
yeah, trilliums are popping up, even
Yeah.
though, even not quite in the woods, like
Huh.
kind of in the
I
lawn.
think it's early. For people.
Yeah.
What, strawberries or everything?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they're true.
So what's going on at your place, Mary? Any bears?
I got a lot of Mayflowers and I've been watching my flicka birds. You like to watch the flickas?
The what birds?
Flickers.
Flickers. Oh, no.
Flickers.
Okay.
I call them little jackhammers.
Yeah.
Well, that's what they behave like. Doot, 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 doot. My little jackhammers, they're busy. I must have a lot of bugs in the ground.
Yeah. Mm. Well. Sounds like we've exhausted our sights and sounds of the seasons. We have to set a date for the next meeting, which would be the third Thursday of June. June is busting all over. That would be the 15th of June. It's also my quarterly Vermont tax payment has to be made, so maybe it'll be a sad day and I won't be able to. So the 15th, is that any objections to the 15th of June? 6:30 at the town hall? Then it's,
Try to make it the next time.
I was fashionably late. Come on.
Yeah, I'll try to be there, period, instead of on the computer.
Yeah, that would be nice.
John, do you have to stay here our whole meeting? That's kind of, I mean,
Well, what happens is I break down everything after you're done. I have to
yeah.
convert the video and upload the video and break all the equipment down. So every time I do these, I'm adding you to my list, you're like my 6th meeting of the month in a month.
Well, that's
So,
a lot for you.
yeah, it's a couple hours. Two for the select board, the planning commission, well, I may have exaggerated. Well, I got rid of one of them, so even the 5th.
Tell him if you're gonna be there anyway, John, maybe you ought to become a member.
I'm sorry.
We're recruiting.
Yes, we could use a new chairman. I guess we're all set for the 15th of June. I could tell by unanimous consent. There we go. We should talk.
Make
In
a motion,
between.
we adjourn.
Mary, do you want to vote on that? You want to vote, Mary?
Yeah, I vote that we adjourn the meeting.
Well, you didn't vote properly. You're supposed to state your name. But anyway, we'll take
My
that.
name is Mary Lumber and I vote we could adjourn the meeting.
Meeting's adjourned.
So it's, yeah, when we meet in person, we meet for